Hey you lovely people, Diwali is approaching near, so I thought to share this one of the most yummiest and loved Indian dessert, that is Rasmalai. And this will taste definitely better and fresh than the store-bought ones, as we are going to prepare everything right from scratch at home. And friends, though this recipe takes a little time and patience, but the end result is really worth trying for all the loved ones for this special occasion. So let's get on to the recipe. So to prepare this super spongy rasmalais at home, first up in a pan I've taken 1 liter of milk for boiling to prepare the chenna or the fresh paneer or cottage cheese. So here comes the first and most important tip. Here I've used this packet milk which is not full fat. I'll just show you. This is 3.5% fat, which means it's a toned milk. So if you want, you can also use cow's milk, but make sure to use the toned milk. So basically you don't have to use full fat milk of cow or buffalo. So if you'll use full fat milk here, your rasgullas or the rasmalais won't be lighter and fluffy, and it will turn very hard, and as soon as you put them in the sugar syrup, they'll break apart. So make sure to use toned milk over here for making the rasgullas of the rasmalai. So now the milk has come to a good boil. I'm going to switch off the flame and give it a light stir and let it settle down just for about a minute or two, because we cannot add vinegar or lemon juice in the piping hot milk. Next, here I've taken half a cup of water, regular water. To this I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar to curdle the milk. You can also use lemon juice instead of vinegar. Now add the vinegar mixture into the milk and keep stirring while adding it. Keep adding the vinegar water in batches and keep stirring the milk. And soon you will see the cheese separating from the milk. You can see the cheese separated from the milk. This is called the chenna, and this chenna is nicely separated from the milk or the whey. Next, here I have taken a strainer which I have lined with a thin muslin cloth. I am going to sieve this mixture with the help of this. So you can see that we have strained this green water completely. You can store this water, it's really very healthy, and then later you can use it for your curries or just for kneading your doughs or for preparing any kind of gravies. Now I'm going to prepare a small knot from this cloth, making a small potli to remove all the extra water out of it, and then rinse it under fresh water and keep pressing it and wash it for about 1 to 2 minutes to remove all the extra flavor of the vinegar or the lemon juice which is remaining. So I washed it for almost 2 minutes. Just twist it to make a tight knot and remove all the extra water again. And now I'm going to make a tight knot, twisting it like this, and then I'm going to keep it aside onto a plate or onto a strainer and let it rest for at least 35 to 40 minutes. So while our chenna is resting, we can start preparing our rabdi or base for the rasmalai. So for this, again in a pot I have taken another 1 liter of milk, and we are going to boil this milk, and we are going to thicken this milk for the rabdi. Once the milk comes to a good boil, I am going to lower the flame to medium and let it boil further for about 5 to 6 more minutes until it turns little thick. Keep stirring in between so that it doesn't get burnt at the bottom of the pan. So after some time, after about 4 to 5 minutes, you can see the milk has slightly reduced. At this point, I am going to add in 1 cup of sugar, which is around 150 grams of sugar. You can adjust the quantity of sugar as per your taste. But this much sugar is enough for 1 liter of milk, as we are going to reduce this further, and it is going to increase the sweetness of the rabdi. For flavoring, I am adding a few strands of saffron strands and half a teaspoon of cardamom powder. Mix that as well and let it cook further for about 3 to 4 more minutes. So here it's giving slight yellow color because of the saffron. But if your saffron is not good enough to give that proper saffron color, that is yellow color, then you can add a pinch of food color to it. So here I'm adding just a pinch of food color for that extra vibrant yellow color. But this is completely optional. Mix that as well and let it cook further. Keep scratching the sides also So now you can see the milk has reduced further and it has thickened enough. I'll show you the consistency. And whatever cream is getting set on the sides, that also you can remove with the help of spatula and add it to the milk. So that's it guys, we don't want to make it too thick, else the chenna balls or the rasgullas which we are making won't be nicely soaked in this. So make sure you keep the consistency just like this, and in the market also they keep the consistency just like this, because once the rasmalai or the rasgulla gets soaked in this, it gets more thicker. So I'll show you the consistency. This is the perfect consistency I feel. I'm going to add a few dry fruits. Here I'm using some almonds, cashews and pistachios. Mix that as well. And it's time to switch off the flame and keep it aside. So it's been almost 40 minutes. Let's check our chenna. You can see the water is nicely drained. I'm going to transfer it onto a plate or onto a clean kitchen platform and we'll start kneading it. So first I'm going to press the chenna with the help of my fingers just like this. You can see just like the way I'm doing. Start kneading it, and with the help of the lower side of the palm, start kneading the chenna just like the way I'm doing it. First scratch it like this. So start scratching it and keep mashing it for at least 8 to 10 minutes. Keep doing this for about 8 to 10 minutes or until it turns very smooth and everything combines together. You can see the way I am doing, you have to do the same way. It will also start leaving some oil. That's the time you know that it's done. So keep doing this. So here comes another important tip, which is that your chenna should still have some moisture. I mean, do not take out the complete moisture out of the chenna, else your rasmalais or the rasgullas which you are making won't turn out that soft and spongy. Let it have some moisture in it, because if your chenna is too dry, you won't be able to mash like this. So you can see this chenna still has light moisture in it. It has become a dough-like consistency and it has also started leaving some oil, which means it's done enough and mashed enough. And you can see it's not going here and there, it's all combined and tied together. So at this point of time, I'm going to sprinkle 2 teaspoons of cornflour or the cornstarch over this and again start kneading it just for a while. Yes guys, we need to put just 2 teaspoons of cornflour. You can also use maida instead. This will help in binding the dough well and it will not break apart while cooking in the syrup. And again knead it just for about 2 to 3 minutes. And now I'm going to take small portion out of this. Mash it with the help of my palms. Just like the way I'm doing, you can see it is leaving some oil. That is the sign your chenna is mashed well. I'm going to make a roundel out of it first. You can see this smooth ball is ready. It's free from any kind of cracks. And now I'm going to slightly press with the help of my hands to make a round patty out of it. You can make big or small roundels and patties, however you prefer. If you want to make anguri rasmalai or chenna payasam, you can simply make small roundels or rasgullas out of it. But today I am making rasmalais, that's why I am making these flat patties. Similarly, prepare the rest of them. So this entire batch is ready, and normally it gets doubled in size when dipped in the syrup. Next up, in a pan for making the syrup, I am adding 1.5 cups of sugar, which is around 200 grams, and to this I am going to add in 4 to 5 cups of water, which is around 1 liter of water. Mix it for a while until all the sugar crystals are nicely dissolved. We don't have to overcook it, we just want a boil in it. So you can see it has come to a good boil, it's bubbling away, and now we'll start adding the chenna tikkis into it one by one. So friends, one thing you have to keep in mind at this point of time, that your syrup should be always boiling like this. So keep adding all the tikkis. So I've added all of them. The water is still boiling. So first we are going to cook this open for about 2 to 3 minutes, and once they are set and they have taken the shape, then we are going to cover it with a lid. So let it cook further over medium-high flame into this boiling water for about 10 to 12 minutes or until they are nicely puffed up and doubled in size. So guys, I want to show you this tikki. This one tikki is already ready. Actually, I just prepared this tikki before only just to check the syrup and the chenna whether it's breaking in the water or not. So I already prepared this one tikki, and apart from this there are 5 tikkis which are getting cooked in the syrup. So overall I prepared 6 tikkis, that is 6 rasmalais from this quantity. So it's been almost 13 minutes. Let's remove the lid and check. You can see the tikkis are nicely puffed up and they have become doubled in size. You can see they are still boiling in the syrup and they have cooked really well. So I'm going to turn off the flame now. Let it cool down completely. So now these rasmalais or the rasgullas have come down completely to room temperature. I'll show you how spongy and light it has come out. See, when I'm pressing, it's coming back. That's the sign of its sponginess. It's really soft. You can see from the sides as well. Now we'll take one tikki, remove the extra syrup out of it. Just squeeze it lightly, very slightly, to remove the extra sugar syrup. And then I'm going to transfer this into the prepared rabdi. Similarly, do for all of them. Just press them very slightly. Do not press it hardly, else they'll break. And then transfer them into this rabdi. Mix it slightly in the rabdi and let it get soaked in the rabdi well. So I'm going to transfer these rasmalais into a container as I'm going to use this in the evening. Put all the rasmalais along with that rabdi and let it get soaked for about 4 to 5 hours. Yes guys, you need to wait for this much time, then only you will get the best results. So I kept mine in the fridge for almost 5 to 6 hours because I had that much time. I'll just remove the box from the fridge and show you. You can see how nicely it has come out. It's looking really soft and it has become slightly darker also in color because the saffron has left its color nicely. You can see it's got good color, good yellow color, and it has thickened also. I'll just show you from all the sides. Now let's cut a piece and show you. You can see the texture is quite soft and smooth. Just look at this. It's easy to cut and when I'm pressing, it's springing back. It's quite spongy and airy. So I'll just take a bite also and tell you guys. Guys, it's too good. It's just melting in the mouth and it's really worth trying at home. It's really fresh and tastes better than the store-bought ones. So this one you have to definitely give it a try for this coming occasion of Diwali and let me know how it turns out for you. And if you enjoyed watching the video today, do give it a thumbs up, share the recipe with all your friends and family and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, take good care and happy Diwali.